fever, catch it this weekend at Sir George Williams campus. Carnival 81 starts tomorrow and concludes next Saturday with a snowball at the Windsor Hotel. Chairman of the Carnival on Sir George Williams campus, Joe DeMoro, hopes people will turn out for the events and leave feeling great. A fashion show will take place in the Sir George Williams cafeteria Monday evening. Chairman DeMoro calls the fashion show the biggest event of the Carnival. The New Wave Festival features two top-notch dance rock bands from Toronto, Steve Blimke and The Reason, plus the Discords. The festival is scheduled for Friday, February 6th, in the campus center at Loyola. According to Chairman DeMoro, Steve Blimke and The Reason is one of the best bands in the country. They have an album and 2 singles out on the Ready Records label. DeMoro hopes that the band's original music will help make Concordia's Carnival a unique experience. Speaking of originality, the strangest and possibly funniest event is the Original Object Hunt, a treasure hunt for the weirdest and most unique object in Montreal. According to some of last year's contestants, the Original Object Hunt is exciting, dangerous, and better than classes. If you are thinking of entering this event, you will have to top the best original objects of other years. Last year's winner delivered a horse, courtesy of the RCMP's Mount Royal stables. 2 years ago, in a daring maneuver, Concordia engineering students slipped by security alarms and guards to lift the McGill Rector's toilet seat. Other events include tricycle and human chariot races, banana eating and bubblegum eating contests, as well as boat races where contestants sip beer through straws. Sign up for these events and others at the booth in the mezzanine at Sir George and in the Gadangi Lounge at Loyola. Watch CUTV News next week for complete coverage of the 1981 Carnival. Beer bashers are not the only things Concordia students care about. This was proven Saturday at CUSA's all-day conference on CUSA's Students Association's priorities and objectives. People came out of the confines of their own clubs, associations, and departments and met together at Loyola campus's Bryan Building to air out their problems. Glenn Murray, chairman of CUSA's Plans and Objectives Committee, opened Saturday's conference saying that student infighting has got to stop. Murray explained that faculty and administration will not take the students seriously unless we act as a unified body. Murray also said CUSA began to feel that, quote, maybe we lost a sense of who we represent. CUSA was out to change that feeling Saturday as representatives of the Part-Time Students Association, Fine Arts Students Association, Loyola Political Science, and Loyola History Students Association sat down with members of the Link, debating, amateur radio, sparklers, chess, and other clubs, and together they helped to direct CUSA's future goals in 5 main areas. The 5 workshops that met were programming, finance, education, general membership activity and service groups, and a workshop on students' rights. About 70 students attended Saturday's conference, and feelings were high as the day reached its close, and communications barriers had crumbled. CUSA members hope to hold more conferences like the one they held Saturday. The recommendations drawn up at the 5 workshops will be compiled into a consultation document, and then it will be up to CUSA's legislative counselors to ratify the document. Next week, CUSA's VP for Education, John Rivet, will tell us more about what Saturday's conference meant in terms of education. There's a group at Loyola who's looking out for you if you're a female in the first year at Concordia and are looking for a friend. Zeta Tau Omega sorority may be your answer. Founded in 1967, Zeta Tau Omega sorority has remained the only sorority at Loyola. Shantini Venugopal, president of the sorority, says the girls develop a certain closeness, which promotes strength between them. If you want to join, you must have the right attitude. Pledges must prove their interest during a traditional 5-week trial period. How? That's a secret shared only by sorority sisters. Other things shared by the sisters include Christmas caroling to raise funds for the Association for the Blind, Christmas parties for the Shriners Hospital, and a beer bash here and there. If you think Zeta Tau Omega is your answer, there will be an open house today at 2:30 at the sorority house at 2070 Elmhurst. Zeta Tau Omega now has 15 members, but they're looking for more, and anyone can join. There's only one stipulation, however. You must be female. Eat, drink, dance, and be Ukrainian. That was the theme of last week's Ukrainian Week, organized by the Concordia Ukrainian Students Union. According to Irene Provodayko, CUSA's vice president, the week-long extravaganza was a tremendous success, with estimated attendance in the hundreds. The highlight of the week was a coffee house on Thursday the 22nd, which featured traditional Ukrainian folk singing and dancing, and coincided with the Ukrainian Independence Day. Among the exhibits of rare Ukrainian museum pieces, contemporary and traditional ceramics, and Ukrainian costumes were an Easter egg decorating demonstration and an embroidery demonstration. The lowering of the Ukrainian flag and the singing of the Ukrainian national anthem marked the close of Ukrainian Week. Ontario students were hit hard by the Ontario government's notice of tuition increases. The students' fees will rise by 10% over the current fees. Individual universities may also raise fees by 10%. The increases will raise fees for undergraduates and art and science students to a maximum of $938. Tuitions for Ontario students are among the highest in the country, equaled only by the universities of the Maritime Provinces. Ontario students are currently paying 15% of the total cost of their education. Sex is not just for the young. That is what gerontologists are trying to make clear as the International Year for the Elderly approaches in 1982. Dr. David Skelton says society tends to regard seniors' needs for sex as a non-problem. Skelton, head of the University of Alberta's gerontology department, says there is not enough privacy for the elderly in homes and institutions. He proposes that spouses be kept together in nursing homes. That theory is backed up by a 1978 report by Louise Delude for the Canadian Advisory Council on the Status of Women. Delude says that relatives and friends cannot compensate for the loss of a husband. Among her suggestions is the idea of communal living, where several women would live with 1 or 2 men. This plan eliminates the problem of loneliness. Communal living would also allow seniors to pool incomes and to support each other during serious illness. The proposals are a step forward in dealing with the plight of the elderly in today's society. Good day, and thank you for watching CUTV News.